Go ahead, Patrick. Live, live, live.
We are
Yeah.
live.
No, it's good to do this with you guys because the way that I've changed it now is much more in line with what we do as also some of the things that we do as a group as far as like technical stuff getting ready.
Just burping through your burrito. Good thing this is live. Yeah, that's true. I guess this is applicable in more ways than one, not only for workshops that we do externally, but also for the ones that we do internally.
Yeah.
Or just like as a place for us to be able to adjust for future workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great.
The way I like to look at Voice in the Mask is as a new pathway into character. Molly?
Why do you say a new pathway? Or a pathway?
Because it is a new pathway.
It's not textually based or physically based? Is that what you mean? Well, I guess it is kind of physically based because it is your body that's making the sound.
No, I just...
Yes, but it's really... The character really comes from the actual sounds inside the mask, more so.
Oh, the points of resonance. The points of resonance?
The points of resonance and how
Is that a question?
sound shapes also the body, which is a new way.
Did you say how the sound shapes the body?
Why are you laughing?
Also, this playing with the physical actor, I can't get behind that title because it sounds it sounds pretty bad.
Molly, we're not there yet.
Sorry, I just can't help but see it on the document. Anyway, points of resonance.
A mask.
No, but also how the sound.
Right?
What?
This is the best. Patrick's face is so close.
Well, I'm trying to hear you guys.
Turn the volume up.
As it goes. But whenever it gets, I'm like an old person. Whenever it gets like, I'm like.
I know. I really have to strain to fit in the pieces. What I said was, per the notes that Patrick's taking, if we're talking about Voice in the Mask as the character coming from the points of resonance within the mask, that also means that is unique to each performer, right? Because everyone's
right. Exactly.
Face in the mask works a little bit differently.
Exactly, and the creative process has to do with the discovery of how that sound also shapes the body. What the hell?
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, what's going on?
Patrick, did you get all of that?
I did, some of it.
Yes, how the sound shapes the body. Perfect.
Okay.
Hey, Liam.
It focuses on...
If you can, here's the link to the document that we're writing in. Or you can follow along. I hope that's really Liam.
I think it is. Oh, yeah.
It begins by sort of focusing on points, like leading points, and
we consider those points of focus.
You're talking about where you like.
Yeah, it's actually the point and the counterpoint. Yeah.
Liam left.
So we do the AIM exercise, for example. That's one thing I always start with. And then there, we work into a little bit of warm up experimental voice. So we touch on experimental voice.
Experimental voice?
Can you go into what
Yeah.
that means a little bit more?
It's based in Roy Hart techniques. So it's sounds that you don't usually play with. Like I don't really know how to explain it more than that.
Non-traditional.
Remember when we would work with Kevin on like vocal fry and working
Right.
up and down. In
I'm just
that
trying to think of a
area.
way to phrase it that's both approachable and understandable than sounds you don't
Hey.
usually play with.
No, I know, but
Well,
I don't know that we even have
Because
to
that's
do
not
that.
that's not inaccurate, but I don't know that it's the best.
But it's not even really a huge part of the workshop. It's like a touching into those things in order to discover new ways of using sound.
I think that is better. Discover new ways to use.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
So I'm just going to go through the process. I'll just talk about the process with you guys, and then that way we can just start filling it in.
Okay.
The next step to this would be working with breath into character,
Uh-huh.
and then they will work with the actual voice in the mask, neutral mask, which are not really neutral, but are neutral in the sense. Okay, so it's really difficult for me. I'll send you some pictures of them and you'll understand how hard it is to explain.
Is it
Because it's
scary?
neutral.
Did vocal neutrality? Or like
No,
Is it
no,
a
no.
mask? It's a mask.
It's a full face mask,
okay.
and there's 3 of them, and
With-
they are the ones that are made out of the hide, made out of the drum material. So it takes away your entire face, and it makes you really use the resonance. And it's really pretty incredible what comes from these masks.
Okay.
But what's interesting about them is they are neutral in the sense that whoever puts them on, it's a completely different character, right? Like they can put it on, it can be any character whatsoever. So I'm not really sure how to explain that. But they're not like neutral in face. They like have a bit more personality than that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you have one with you?
No, they're in my office, but I can take a picture of them and send them to you.
You're being a real creep.
What are you talking to me or Liam?
Yeah. Talking to me earlier.
Then after that is when we work with Commedia Mask, but we work with Commedia Mask in the same way that we do, right? First we discover the lines of the mask and all of this, and we start seated as well. Not that we have to put all of this, I'm just telling you guys how it goes.
Start
We start
seated?
seated, like sitting down.
Sitting down.
Yeah, you take away the legs.
Don't write that. Don't write that.
Take away like Mr.
I'm not saying write this. I'm just trying to explain it to you so you guys can help me.
Liam, put in headphones.
So then,
I know you own them. I know you own them.
Please.
Headphones.
and then bit by bit, I help them discover that character
Seated.
Okay.
for them, whatever that is.
Limb by limb.
Discover the character is
Limb by
related
limb?
to physical, or what do you mean the character? Like a character?
Motivated by the voice.
Do you want? Let me just explain exactly how I do it, and that way maybe you guys will understand.
That's a great
So
idea.
they first hold up the mask. They look at it in the same way that we ask them to look at any mask. You look at the lines. You look at how it moves.
Pause
You
to
see the
that.
mask
That
as
means that the space we get either needs to have mirrors or we need to provide them, which is something that we've run into in the past, but we should make note of early
Wait,
on.
no, do we need mirrors? Why?
Don't we? Sorry, I said that's judgmental.
I know.
Um,
Getting
yeah, I mean, eventually, I'm assuming they're going to be doing work with their body informed by their voice. But don't we want them to see that?
No.
Okay, for workshop number 2, I'm assuming we're going to want mirrors, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So chances are we're going to
for
be
the
in the
voice
same
in the
place.
mask.
Either way, it's not a bad idea to have mirrors. Liam, back me up.
Liam will back you up. Okay,
So you're sort of
they look at them as they're looking.
so it's coming from the mask, the physical, and then the vocal, and the character.
Vocal and then the physical.
No, let me explain. So first, they start looking at it, right? And they only have their upper body to work with, okay? Then they put the mask on the ground. I help them find the resonance. And then through that resonance point, they start to count to 10 over and over and over again. As they count to 10, something will start to happen to their voice, okay? This is what always happens. And I come through and I'm like, stay with that, see how that moves your body, see how that makes you feel, and you'll see that some people will just like do this, or some people will start like do this, whatever. It happens in very strange ways. It like opens itself up into a character that they come up and then they open their eyes with their audience and they are still counting to 10, and then we stop and then we do the interview. Remember interview?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where we say like, what's your name? How are you? Why are you here? Blah blah blah.
Do you do this with them
And
individually or
sometimes-
as a group when you do the counting exercise?
So I usually do it with 3 to 4 at a time, seated, and then as they come up counting, then we do individual interviews that are kind of fast touches into each person.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Eventually, when they really have found their voice, they're making things that we do in order for them to have to show us where a little bit. Yay, nay.
Dory, you're cutting out.
I'm cutting out?
Yeah. I only got about.
I heard you say nay nay.
I heard nay nay too.
Yeah.
And I was like,
First out whip.
I feel like I'm not
And
getting
then I'm
the
in.
right in this
Yeah.
conversation.
Good girl, good girl.
So then they nay nay.
That is super physical. That's
What-
good.
The vocal resonance. Then there's a nay nay portion.
Yeah, can you imagine if I did that?
That'd be awesome. I would go to that workshop.
We put in the prescription, and then we went to nay nay.
No, that's
Oh,
trademarked. It's
dear.
trademarked and we can't afford to be sued. We need that $500. Oh, that reminds me. I need to find out if Allie's booked my travel yet. I'm assuming not.
I assume not too. Okay, so this character is just like a character sort of coming from the person. It's not necessarily related to. I'm slightly confused where this character is coming from. Does that make sense? From the voice.
It comes from the voice. It
But
comes
that-
from
The way you're finding
the
the voice
problem is
through that neutral mask, right?
no, but you find it also in the Comania mask. In fact, I think I am doing this with some of the students, and maybe I should send it to you guys, because
Yeah.
basically they start with counting, and the counting is through the resonance, so they find the placement and then they start counting over and over again, And this counting, as they start to find more and more of their like actual voice, starts to move their body. And it's really quite incredible.
Right.
And not
So the
like,
neutral masks
and
are used
hard to
in the
explain.
beginning just as a exercise.
as a tool,
tool.
to understand
New forms of
resonance in the
sound.
mask, because it's
Right.
really like intense.
And then
And
that
not
leads them to
everyone
the media
necessarily
masks.
can. Right, exactly.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it starts with the mask. Well, the mask is there, and then you find the point of resonance, and then you like move into the voice, which moves into the physical, which then becomes a character.
That's right.
Okay.
That's why it's a different kind of pathway into character.
Right. Right. Okay. Awesome.
Because it very specifically moves through the voice first. You're absolutely right. That's exactly right.
I have a question which is semi-off topic but related. Do we have a camera that can be used to film the workshops?
Yes.
And if we're doing that, do we also need to get release forms from the participants, just in case?
Yeah.
Sure.
In fact,
I think we can
have a
probably
release
like
form
okay.
from the ADA that we can use as a
Template, yeah. That's a great idea.
that we have all the students sign on.
I mean, yeah.
Cool.
Nowadays, also, if you can just like sort of film the question and get all of them saying yes to it, then you're fine too.
Right. That always seems so
Sure.
weird, though.
It's easier than sometimes it's easier
What
than.
do they do before they? Well, I'm gonna type this because I'm I'm visiting someone else's office.
I don't know where you are. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of stuff here, but I think we can sort of build a description out of this. Great. The next thing, this one, I feel like Voice in the Mask almost seems simpler because it's just doing sort of more of a description, so that's kind of easy to sort of send around. The next one, the sort of like, it's sort of an amorphous thing. Wait, what? That's what they do. What are you talking about?
It's true. Liam, back me up.
What? I missed the speaking part of it.
See? No, don't say sure. It sounds like that's like you're discrediting what I'm saying. It is accurate.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying that's one of the reasons it kind of squigs me out. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's judgmental. I shouldn't say that.
I feel like that sort of situation, consent is way more like necessary and intense than.
No, I totally agree. I just think it's always weird the way that they film them.
Oh.
What do you mean you don't really know what we're talking about? Oh, these meetings are impossible.
Okay, so the second.
We're talking about consent, Liam.
Exactly. So Dory, we'll sort of like pull that into something. Actually, I think I could probably. Well, I don't know. I want to also get started on the second one so that we like have an idea before we get, because we only have like 25 more minutes. And then emailing around the descriptions might be a little simpler, but like hearing you talk through all of that stuff was great. The second one, playing with the, this one is
exactly
related to, this one's related to play. But I don't quite know what this one is yet. There was like talk about it being related to pop culture, media, modern, play.
I think pop culture in some ways is simultaneously accessible and limiting. Oh, weird. But Liam did just send 60 minutes ago brainstorm titles, and we can also go through some of the things that Allie and Allegra sent.
Allie or Allegra sent. I put those all in the document.
Yeah.
Allie also said something. Hers was really about play. She was really interested in using play related to commedia.
Play like how?
Just playing, like helping actors be more
Related to
playful.
commedia is
Yeah.
what he said.
Yeah.
I
so
like
like
I like freeing the
some of
mask.
like some of the exercises that we do, like the imagination exercise.
Well, I think right now we're still sort of like in the idea, like what's possible. What are some possible workshops that then we can sort of get more specific with exercises in a second. But yeah, I think like
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what she means by playing.
Oh, I'm assuming. Allegra said, how to allow imagination into your performance, unlock your own inner spark, and become a unique, dynamic performer.
It's too
Bring
long,
what
I
is
think.
inside you to the outside.
I also think that's too vague.
Well, yeah, of course, we'd have to do more. Hold on.
I think because I think what we need is something that's simultaneously informative but not restricting, right? Restrictive.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of freeing the mask because it's clear what we're working with, but it's not restricted to a specific kind of theater performance or performance type, which is good for us because although we're based in commedia, obviously we break those rules quite a bit. I'm super into that title. Well done, Lily.
Why?
What is it, freeing the mask?
I guess I don't quite. Talk to me more about that.
One of the reasons I like it is that in general, when you're doing masked theater, you're working within a very specific set of rules that are made for that kind of mask. Like full face mask has a certain set of rules versus half face mask. Commedia performances usually come with a certain kind of like discipline that you're following. And what it sounds to me, what we're trying to do with this workshop is not make masked performance that, what's the word, unapproachable. So it's us allowing the opportunity to discover different forms of performance with this particular tool instead of us saying this tool works this way. Does that make sense?
That does make sense to me. I do like that.
I think.
What's on your mind? What other things stood out to you, or feelings do you have about ways that could articulate the intention of this workshop best?
I feel like I still don't know what the intention of this workshop is.
You nailed it, Patrick. You're doing it. You are doing it. You're living the workshop. I felt similarly. So, I mean, similar to the way that we build work, either we have a story first or we have characters first. Never do we do the same thing at the same time. Are we going based off the name of the workshop, or do we have an agenda for the workshop and then we're naming it? Do you see what I'm saying? It was my understanding, based on reading the notes from the previous conversation that you guys had in the meeting that we had on Sunday, that the purpose of this workshop was not specific to commedia technique, but more open to ways to perform in mask. Accurate or inaccurate?
I think that what we talked about a lot was like, how could commedia be used to open up possibilities for even for the mask, for masked performance. So like,
I feel better about that because I don't think we should divorce ourselves too far from commedia. I think it, like, for me, the way I think of it is that technique is useful beyond just mask work.
Right. Exactly. And so but we have to be careful with this in order to say things like in the commedia, the use of the commedia mask is simply a tool in order to open up more possibilities in mass performance, even modernizing.
Or just performance, right?
I think, yeah, even just.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe it's.
So, like, the main idea is the mask as a tool, right?
Right.
Tool to unlock the performer.
Why can't we just call? Can we call the workshop like tool?
Yes. Tool.
I think we might get
How do
sued
we
for
all
that.
work with tools?
Tool. You're a tool now.
I wonder what our click to open rate will be.
I like this idea of thinking of it as the mask, or commedia masks, or just masks, or mask.
Just calling it mask.
And what's funny though is I feel like Voice in the Mask is also using the mask as a tool to unlock
The voice.
voice.
Right, so that's kind of the
Sure.
overarching theme, right? First is finding the voice, and then is finding, what is it finding then?
Play.
Then it's finding how
Play.
this is useful in
Play through
developing
physicality?
new work and play.
Play within the rules.
Play within the rules.
Oh.
Play in the sandbox, not
Mommy?
outside of the sandbox.
Play within the square.
That sounds really responsible. You're allowed to play. Within
What
reason.
do we say? We say
The name of it.
serious play.
No! Oh, serious? That sounds different.
Serious play.
I'm
What was that?
I'm doing this for Liam because his volume's down. I hope he's laughing. I wish I could see. He gets to see us, but we don't get to see him. Classic Lily.
What about
Sorry.
playing with the mask and myself?
No.
Yeah.
Wait,
No.
okay. So the first one is the using a mask to unlock the voice and then character, right? So the next one is using the mask to unlock
The body.
unlock the body,
Unlock
No,
the
unlock the imagination.
imagination,
imagination. Using the mask to unlock the imagination.
the imaginative
And-
actor.
Mask. Unmasking imagination?
Ooh.
Imaginative play, imaginational.
Imaginational. Liam, if you have any ideas, you feel free to type them. Type them in there. Imaginational?
This is the theme. This isn't the title, right? Like,
One informs the other.
No, the theme would be I think the theme of the second workshop is to unlock the imagination and
And divorce the past.
no,
So
develop.
The theme, though, of both workshops that carries over from one to the other is using the mask as a tool, right? One is specifically for character motivated by vocal discovery,
Voice.
and the second is character motivated by the commedia, like the rules of engagement.
wait, the imagination to like develop work.
Yeah, develop new work. That's
I
what
think
would
it's
say.
important, though, that the mask aspect of this is highlighted in the title.
No, okay.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking about like if we're talking about what it is going to do, right?
Right.
Well, and Malu, you said it before, which is interesting. The two ways we work is either through.
But develop new work in
or
mass
character.
performance. Why can't we say that?
Oh, that's great. Develop new work in mass performance.
Unlock the imagination and develop new work.
That's too long.
Well, no, this is the
Mass
theme. Hold up.
Are we doing the? Are we doing the title, or are we doing the
This is
script?
what we need in mass performance. Okay, great. And then using the mask to unlock. Okay, now let's move on to the title. The first one is Voice in the Mask.
No. Oh yeah. Oh, freeing the mask
The
is
next
good.
one. What?
Freeing the mask.
You said it like 4 times. But this time you said it like you just discovered it. Oh, freeing the mask is good.
I just go sit there and get it.
She's trying to convince me of things. She's like, oh, I just came up with this idea. I'm like, Mom, you've told me that 5 times.
I totally forgot that I read it off of Liam's email.
Oh.
I was going to give you credit for that, Patrick.
Oh, in the thing? No.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, too good.
Using the mask as a tool. One, masks to unlock the voice and then character, because they're using 2 different styles of masks, right?
Yes.
Using the mask to unlock the imagination, develop new work in, I think, just in performance. Oh. There. Yeah?
Great.
Okay.
So then the first one is voice in the mask, and the second one is...
You know what I vote for.
Molly
Mask in
really
the
likes freeing the mask.
Face in the mask. Imagination in the mask.
What did you say? Face in the mask?
Face
Yeah.
in the mask.
No.
Oh my God, I forgot how much fun it is to brainstorm with you guys.
Brainstorming is probably the funniest thing we do.
It's so disastrous.
It's neither a compliment nor an insult.
What does that mean? Freeing the mask, it feels...
Liberating.
It feels like I feel like freedom within the mask.
That's great. That's okay.
I don't like that at all.
I liked it when you first said it, but then when I thought about it again, I didn't like it as much. But I understand what you're saying, that freeing the mask is not a it doesn't lead to an accurate understanding of what the workshop is.
Right. Unmasking play, I feel like, is or uncovering the mask.
Unmasking play sounds very adult. I would like to avoid us having participants that are disappointed with what they actually signed up for.
Everything we do is adult.
Not on purpose. Let's see. You had one earlier, though, Patrick, that I liked, and I can't remember what it was.
Experimental mask work.
No. Unmasking imagination? Nope.
Play in the mask?
Nope.
Like that? Play date with the mask?
You know exactly what you're doing now.
Imaginative.
A mask at play?
It's not the worst one.
It's pretty bad.
Mask play is
Not
not
great.
bad.
Using the mask to unlock the imagination and develop new work in performance.
It is about development.
The mask in performance.
Masquerade.
Masquerade is not it.
But I think we should spell it differently.
Developing performance through mask?
Liam.
I like unmasked.
Imagination.
I don't know, we don't like that one. Play.
Imaginative performance.
That's too vague. I think mask needs to be in the title.
Masked imaginative performance.
Patrick, what did you say?
Maskination.
Nope, that's not it. I mean, what about just developing performance through mask?
That's long.
It's so boring.
It's really boring. It sounds like
Unmasking, unmasking your imagination. I feel like we keep saying something around that. It just doesn't.
The imagination. Unmasking new work.
Unmasking new work is great. That's it. That's it. Unmasking new work.
Unmasking new work.
That's good.
That's good.
Okay.
I
Wow.
agree.
Well done. Well done. And not a
Took us
minute
a
too
while.
soon.
Not a minute too soon.
The
Okay,
other
great.
things that we need to
So-
figure out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Patrick.
Mostly the next, I mean, we have a title, we have the themes, which is good for the whole, like, marketing of stuff. The thing that we have to figure out is descriptions.
Right.
And Voice in the Mask, we have a pretty good idea of the description because we can sort of play with all that stuff we have up there. But unmasking new work now, maybe we should do some brainstorming around
Especially keeping in mind that ideally we would like it to be a workshop that people from the first workshop can step into. So we don't want to be too redundant with exercises. Or if we are going to use same exercises, then we need to do them with a altered focus so they're not repeating work they've already done.
But, oh, yeah. Oh, that's not
But we can do certain things as like fast warm-ups, like the ant exercise for like even 10 minutes, which would be a great warm-up.
Yeah, that's just good to re-engage, totally.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
mean,
Well, and, I mean, truthfully, the one should easily lead into the other. The hard thing is getting the people from the second one up to speed from the first one, the people in the first one, right?
Right.
That's why I think the ant exercise is extremely important.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where I think like that's the one exercise that's going to have to be repeated. But I think that's okay because it's always good to go back to that.
Yeah.
And obviously Voice in the Mask
That
is
makes
important in both instances, but the focus of the second workshop has more to do with physicality than it has to do with the voice. So instead of the voice informing the body, it's going to be more of the body informing the voice, right?
Well,
The imagination informing,
The imagination informing.
right?
Well, maybe the body to inform the imagination, or to open the imagination.
Yeah, just like the
Yeah, like
repetition
for instance,
exercise. One
yeah,
motion
that's
leads
exactly
to the
what I
next.
was going to say.
Body to unlock.
Yes, that would be one of the first exercises I would think we should do in this
Agreed.
in this workshop.
Using the mask to inform the body. How is this development of new work? What is it using improv-based techniques or improv-based stuff?
Certainly not textually based.
I think it should be improv based. One of the things that we'll definitely want to do is the statue series. Remember?
Yeah. Improv-based.
That's a great like
Tableaus.
structure. Yeah, that's a great structure to like create new work upon, right? And really easy and fast.
Yeah. Improv-based. Do we want to mention
yeah.
committee at all? Or no?
Yes.
Commedia Masks?
Yes. I don't think we should be
Yeah,
afraid to. I mean, that is something that we
tool,
should.
you know?
Yeah, that's working for us, not against us, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's creating the structure in order to develop from.
Right.
But somehow we need to like phrase it in such a way that we're not focusing on like traditional or what people would see as traditional work in commedia.
Well, I
But
think
it's used as a tool to
I think the
give
way
a structure for new work.
do that is actually in like talking about the type of mask we're using, our Commedia masks, which are half masks, right? And not direct, and that's, we're using the Commedia masks to help us in this work, but it's not necessarily Commedia.
Are we abandoning the notion of using archetypes at all?
I don't know.
No, I don't.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think that like, I think what we should think about is like if you did the tableaus exercise, right?
Yeah.
How can we move from that into an exercise that moves even more into sort of like if this mask was continuing to develop into modern day sort of feeling. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean?
No, say
Where
that
the
again.
structure, like basically, what if this mask should start moving, like developing into an archetype or like a more modern day archetype?
I
Does that make
think
sense?
the part where I'm having confusion then is, are we talking about unlocking creativity through the use of specific rules, or are we abandoning those rules?
I
Do you know
think
what I'm saying?
I think it's,
Like working within a structure to find like the chaos?
that's what I think. I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's really, yeah, because I think it would be really like not a great idea just to give them full reign, because that always gets really confusing, especially when you're first working with math. I think the more structure, the better, honestly.
I agree, and that's part of what we offer more uniquely than other theater companies.
Right. But we don't want the structure, but see, this is where I think we need to come up with the next step, because we don't want the structure to be limiting
But it's never been
in
for
any way.
us.
Does that make sense?
I mean,
Well, no, it's never been for us. I agree. But I mean, what I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what's the next step past working in these like tableaus that we have that do the whole idea of relationship and hierarchy.
I think all this stuff is good. I know it's funny because like it feels like we're not getting specific enough, but we are sort of getting specific in some of these ideas. The structure
Yeah.
and I like, the thing that I like that we're doing is we're using a lot of language outside of the sort of like fallback we have, which is Commedia, right? We like sometimes talk in terms of Commedia, but this we're using a different language,
Yeah.
which makes it more inclusive.
Exactly. That's what I think we need to be aiming for. Absolutely, Patrick.
Right.
I just don't want us to forget or let go of the idea that our background in technique and Commedia is an asset that we are offering to the attendees.
Yes, but one of the
Absolutely.
I think we forget sometimes is that the language we use around Commedia is specific to us, right? So it's easy to make it like exclusive. It's easy to make people feel like they're not, like they already are too far behind. Like they can't.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's, I think, the one of our goals.
Well, I think what's important then is that in the description of the workshop, we discuss that the techniques or the tools that we're going to be using are based in Commedia, but not
not
And
specific.
that's it, just based in Commedia. Yeah, and no more specific than that.
Based in Commedia. Well, it's Commedia and physical theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Good point. Or good, like, point of clarification.
Relationships and hierarchy. Using archetypes to build character. Okay. I failed brilliantly. Okay, I think this is good. So far for this one I have using the body to unlock the imagination, using the mask to inform the body, improv-based play, commedia masks, half masks, using archetypes to build characters, working within a structure to find chaos, relationship and hierarchy, based in commedia and physical theater, saying yes.
Good.
This seems like a good place to start from. Oh, it's already 4, of course. To start from to build a description.
That's great.
I agree. A couple other things I want to make sure we discuss are not only where we're going to hold the workshops, but also who's going to be teaching them.
Right.
I feel like it's fully possible that we may need whoever's available to participate in one way or another, be it like filming or documenting in some way, and also teaching and whatever admin stuff may need to get done.
Right.
I'd be happy. I would love to film it.
I
Yeah.
think that,
Oh, sorry.
no, as far as teaching, I just want to say I think that we should have like what we would call like a lead teacher on each of these that we can decide on kind of now, but then we wait until we know how many participants we have before we decide who else we might need to assist in the teaching. Does that make sense?
I totally agree with that. And I also think it's worth taking a poll to see who's interested, because I know that Liam's done some workshop teaching recently, so I don't know if that means he's more interested in being involved in this for potential future teaching opportunities in Philadelphia. Obviously, Dory, you have a lot of experience with the vocal work, and I don't know, Patrick, if you and Allie are planning on doing more workshops in New York, if it would make sense for one of the two of you to either lead or second the second workshop. Oh my God, I'm trying really hard to put words together, but it's getting tough.
I feel like for Voice in the Mask, no matter what, Dora, you need to be the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep. What if I wanted to be the lead for that, and I kept getting it wrong?
So really it's thinking who wants to take the lead on this sort of the unmasking new work whatever workshop thing, which is fine. I'm more than comfortable to do that, but I also know that some people want, if people want more, whatever it's called, experience, I'm totally cool with that too.
Exposure, yeah.
Exposure, all those things. Yeah, I say we.
I think we need Allie for this. Allie, can you hear us?
We should also, I can send out an email after we finish the meeting with the meeting notes that you've taken, Patrick, and the descriptions so far, so people can either contribute on that same document or at least be up to speed, and we can make that an ask. That currently we have Dory leading the vocal workshop, and Patrick is the stand-in right now, at least for the second workshop, unless...
Well, right.
Or what's the best way to make that ask, I guess?
Yeah, I also don't know if we need that. I don't know if we need this. Does anyone else? I don't know. I feel like right now to me space is more important.
Right.
And marketing. Like to me, I'm like way more concerned about it. Getting the word out and doing that. To me, I'm like
I do think that's a more urgent need as well, because we can figure out the other stuff after we've like put the word out.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody needs to be involved in the conversation too. And since we can't hear two of them, I think it's a little difficult to like make that decision also.
Yeah, that can definitely be just at really big meetings.
I find the power intoxicating, but whatever.
Yeah, that's our fear. Definitely a fear of the group. We know.
I'm glad this is being recorded live.
Recorded and broadcast to the public. Oh, no people.
Recorded and broadcast to the public. We have no viewers.
Okay. So I want, now that we've done this, I'm going to put together, just like try and put these into descriptions, and send that around, and also put together a little bit of like a marketing strategy / plan, which Allie and I are
send out an email with that info?
We'll probably talk through that then as well. What?
Will you send out an email with that info?
Yes, I will email all of that out.
Okay, cool. Thank you. It just seems like that's the best way for us also to include Allegra.
Yeah.
It's a lighter ask.
Right. Descriptions. Otherwise, this is good. What?
I just like Dory.
At any point in time, you can like come by my office and find me on.
Whatever gets you through, sister, you do what you gotta do.
Right.
To stay sane.
Exactly.
That seems good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did pretty well. So the next meeting we have on the books is not this Sunday, is it? No, it's next Sunday.
No, next Sunday.
May 1st, right?
Oh my God, our time is coming up.
Yeah, I know.
Is that sufficient?
What do you mean?
Do we think we can work effectively remote via email and get as much done as we need to before May 1st?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're in a good place now.
I think I think so. I think the next big step is a lot of word spreading in relationship to, and everyone make sure you keep up on your stuff for the fundraiser.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe I'll send out an email about that as well.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Okay, that's good. 409. Nice work, everyone.
309 in Austin.
Okay, guys.
509 in New Brunswick.
Who cares?
Mine is
so
just
sorry.
3 degrees, you guys. Whatever.
Oh, God.
Brunswians. Okay, this is good. And yeah, May 1st we'll also do Start Creative talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess the next time we all have the chance to meet is a week from today for the agenda setting.
Yep.
So either email or participate, whichever works for you.
I want to participate.
I would love that. That sounds great.
I'll probably email. Because I do love you guys, but next week is finals week, and then Tango Safari starts, which is the
Tango
thing with
Safari?
Oh yeah, you guys. I forgot to tell you what the program was called.
It's called Tango Safari. That's the name of the new program?
It's a bunch of Germans that like follow each other around like a safari in campers, and there's 99 of them coming to the villa, and they turn the villa into like every single room they're like tangoing and doing milonga and like.
It's like a little Burning Man.
But for
I
dance?
wish it was more like Burning Man, but it's just a little, it's a little cray.
So it's 99 people in caravans
99 people.
at the villa tangoing in rooms.
Not just rooms, also the living room. Like
the room.
They take
room.
over every.
The word room is in the title of that.
That's a lot of tango going
But
on.
I mean, not just behind closed doors, which is what you would hope.
It's hopefully more tangoing.
Not just behind closed doors. Proud tangoing. Is that all that they do? Is just tango? Not that that's wrong.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy, you guys. I don't get it. Jesse kept asking me the same question over and over. He's like, but why? But why?
You're
And
like,
finally I was like, I can keep answering you, but it's getting to the point where, like, I'm giving you the same answers that I give
Yeah.
Becca when she asks me why on every single thing. There's no sense to it.
Does she speak as much Italian as she does English?
Mm-hmm.
should we stop our broadcast?
Oh, that's my only question.
Sorry.
Oh. Yes, Patrick.